What is up YouTube, and welcome to this What If breakdown and review. What If, after a pretty rocky start, is on one hell of a run, while the last two episodes have been dark and depressing, but very, very good. And this episode takes the what if concept and changes the future of the MCU and heads to underserved parts of the MCU in a bit more detail. And I must say as well, I'm loving the what if Lego minifigures. I got one recently and I got Captain Carter. So if you've got any, let me know and share your pictures with me over on Twitter with @SuperheroNexus. The idea here is that Killmonger saves Tony Stark instead of Stark creating the Mark I and escaping the 10 Rings capture. Tony here would not go on to be Iron Man and would not become the legendary hero who kickstarted the Avengers being brought together by existing, and would not find himself in a battle, and at the end would not sacrifice himself despite loving us 3000. We get to see Killmonger, who is, my god, one of the best villains in the MCU. Now, probably my top three would be Thanos, of course. Next, I would have Mysterio, Killmonger, then Vulture. I have a Spider-Man bias, in case you didn't know. And that is just my ranking there. Let me know what you think down in the comments. I won't rank Loki because he's not really a villain. He's sort of an anti-hero, non-villain. It's a weird one. Now here, Killmonger went undercover in the 10 Rings and discovered the attack on Tony and stopped it by saving Tony there. I really did like that as well, because the first few episodes did kind of tell us pretty much the same movie again. And I think that 2 and 3 went a bit too far in the craziness. Now here it is markedly different from Killmonger's original MCU debut, where he went straight to working with Klaue, and we got to expand upon his military career that was mentioned in passing during the Black Panther movie. Now Tony would reveal himself as Iron Man during a press conference in, well, the Iron Man movie, but here we got a reveal from Killmonger, who tells the press how Obadiah Stone was behind the whole attack, and essentially Ironmonger doesn't happen, most of Iron Man 1 doesn't happen, and we sort of skip to Iron Man 2 in a way, as Killmonger is promoted to Chief Security Officer instead of Happy, which did make me laugh, and then COO instead of Pepper, who still investigates him and finds nothing on him whatsoever. I did like how he moved across the Iron Man movies, and Killmonger has designed an Iron Man Brigade style of drones, which were the focal point of Justin Hammer's efforts, except he wanted bodies in the suits, and the whole Iron Brigade thing was a big part of 2 and 3. Now, I did chuckle when Tony refers to it as Gundam using Jarvis's AI. The failure of the drone falling over while they're filming did remind me of Justin Hammer's failed Iron Man knockoffs that Tony plays before his hearing, which was one of my favourite scenes in the MCU, and I'm hoping Heavy Spoilers does break that out for his series of perfect scenes. Now, Tony dismisses an arc reactor, which was a neat touch, before Killmonger, tricking Tony all this time, I must add, does suggest vibranium. The drones named Liberators did remind me of his plans in Black Panther to send vibranium weapons around the world and the tech to the Wakandan sleeper cells at the end of Black Panther, and it's clear he intends to liberate the world. The talk of fathers was also very intriguing, as both their fathers had a profound impact on them, and so did their deaths. We see tinges of Tony's heroic self come out, as he said he wished no one wanted to fire a weapon, and he wishes that, well, these weapons didn't actually need to be used. However, he sends out Rhodesy to get Klaue to buy the vibranium. This was a neat touch as we head into Klaue's HQ that we saw in Age of Ultron, and to be honest, I do think that Ulysses Klaue was incredibly underserved in the MCU. I do think that Andy Serkis really did deliver one of his iconic roles. In my opinion, I think this is one of his best roles in any of the movies I've seen. And I was gutted when he got killed there in Black Panther, and he's also, killed here. I hope we can get an MCU story-style show where we see him steal the vibranium, but Killmonger was working with our boy Klaue all along. Now, T'Challa attacks and is neutralized by Killmonger. No resurrections this time. That was a terrible impression. Shall we move on? Now, Killmonger frames Rhodey, leading to a way in for Killmonger to get into cahoots with Wakanda by taking Klaue like he did in the movie. He delivers Klaue to the Dora instead of the border tribe and Wakabi, and it is accepted as he warns an attack is happening, as before this he did kill Iron Man, and well, he did frame the Dora Milaje using the spear that Klaue had, and is instantly accepted by the king. Interestingly, he doesn't challenge T'Chaka like he did T'Challa, as I presume he saw T'Challa as taking his opportunity, and he doesn't get a chance to be the Panther. Now, Ross is using Tony's death to launch an invasion, as Pepper says. Why invade a nation most Americans cannot find on a map? Hey, there's nothing more American than invading and destabilizing a country that most Americans cannot find on the map. How very apt there's an invasion of a country built on a lie? That's very much like the War on Terror. Killmonger is able to convince them to let the drones in and destroy them, but tricks them using a backup transmitter that looks like one of those sort of keyring things that have funny phrases on them. And they fight in a sort of reverse final Black Panther battle / Battle of Wakanda in Infinity War. Now, the day is won, but it's built on lies, as we have Killmonger become Black Panther, and he sees T'Challa in the afterlife, who says that this is all built on a lie. Of course, this house of cards is eventually going to come tumbling down, as Shuri at the end has infiltrated the Stark HQ and presented Pepper Potts with the evidence that Killmonger did indeed kill Iron Man. Yes, what an episode, a real fun jaunt, and expanding upon characters which I think really I wanted to see more of. Of course, they're the villains, Klaue and Killmonger, and they will be killed, but I do think later in the MCU, they started to realise the worth in keeping some of these villains around, which is why Vulture survived, but I think Mysterio obviously died, so I'm not sure if my point is backed up there. But let me know what you think of the episode down below. Please drop a like if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe with notifications on if you want more from us. And I will see you soon tomorrow for more American Horror Story. And I'm taking the weekend off to write a script of a show I've watched, which is a modern masterpiece. You can guess down in the comments. I'll see you soon, and goodbye.